Hi there, friends and adventurers. Heather from Heather's Hikes and Adventures, and today's video is an exciting one. I have been traveling part-time in my 2017 Dodge Grand Caravan named Tara, my Taravan, for about 3.5 years now. And I am going to be sharing with you what I truly believe are the top 5 best layouts, hands down, for a no-build minivan camper. So let's get into it, shall we? I am going to be taking you on a brief tour of each of the 5 setups that I personally use and love all the time. And we're going to start with the least complicated and work our way up to the most complex of the 5. I do want to say that each of these setups I can convert completely from a regular 7-passenger minivan with all 7 seats in to the minivan camper in under an hour. So none of them are complicated by any means. But like I said, we're going to start simple and work our way up. So let's get into the very first tour. We're going to start up front first with this setup. And to be honest, the front stays pretty much the same regardless of which setup I'm using. So I'm not going to go into this every single time as much. But over here in this door, I keep a little clamp, one of those charcoal dehumidifying bags, and some carabiners. I've got some glass cleaner for the windshield, another one of those charcoal dehumidifier bags, a spare cord, and my window covers for this side up front, which is my stretchy screen that goes over, and then my magnetic curtain. And then we have Fred the plant, who is always right there. I do have a dash cam that you can see on the other side of the windshield cover, but the sun was just too aggressive right now, so we've got that up for the time being. I've got my little steering wheel cover and comfy lumbar cushion, which really is just because I'm super short and I need to sit up higher. I've got my headlamp that I always keep strapped to the headrest within easy grasp. And I have my sun hat here. I also keep my camera sling and my water bottle carrier just hanging over here. And if I need my raincoat, I'll kind of just drape it over the back. And then I just keep this cover to cover anything that might be in this seat, which right now is just my camera and coffee mug. This is my little cup holder power inverter so that I can use my hot logic, or if I need to like charge my camera battery or something. And then this is for my dash cam since I don't have it hardwired to the car yet. And then I just have a few knickknacks and pens in here. My water bottle. I always keep a bandana handy for my nose when it's cold and, you know, just whatever you might need a bandana for. And then down here I always keep my pair of binoculars, a spare beanie for my head if it's cold, and my first aid kit. Right, now let's go around the other side real quick. There's not a lot to show on that side. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, and then here in the driver's side door, I always keep my camera battery charger, my tire pressure gauge, a spare charging cord, magnetic hooks, hand sanitizer, lens cleaner. Oh, this is my old tire gauge that died. I guess I don't need that anymore. Some pepper spray, a little tiny toolkit, which is basically just some small screwdrivers and bungees, and then my window covering for this door. And now I will show you my garage. So this little hamper here just has all of my towels, sheets, blankets, spare bedding. If I have like a heavy winter coat, I'll shove it in there. My shower bag. This is my wet dry bag that I'll use for garbage if it's smellier, or to collect litter around the campsite, etc. And then I keep the rest of my window covers stored back here. As you can see, I always keep my WeatherTechs in the 3rd row, but this is for the 2nd row windows, and then the back windshield. I'll show you that at night. And then coming over to this side, right now since it's been chilly, I do have my rechargeable heated jacket, as well as my rechargeable hand warmers are in this front pouch. And then I have my picnic table cover, which you can see I just have the bench ones on right now because the table part's too big to fit it. But that would be on the table if it did fit. And then this is just a big, large mosquito net that I will hang over the back, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But first, I already have this out because I think I'm going to go get some firewood and do a fire tonight. But this is my kitchen tote with all of my appliances, utensils, plates, cups, all of that kind of stuff. See in there. And then down there is my garage tote, which has like my tire air compressor, my jump starter, my extra fire stuff, all that kind of stuff. I've got my pressurized Lunatec water bottle for washing stuff off at camp. Love this. And then my collapsible sink is back there as well. And that's it, pretty simple. Now let's look at the meat and potatoes. All right, and then coming into the main part, you can see with this setup, I just keep the second row seats up. I have this one tilted back because I'll use it as a leg rest in the evening. I just have some blankets here for now. Now when I'm in drive mode, I keep my little backpack here in between the seats so that it doesn't fall. But once I get to camp, I'll set it up here, and this is my kind of workstation area where I keep everything, and then I'll sit here to do my actual work or lounging. Which brings us to my fridge. As you can see, this is the Bouge RV 23 quart, I believe. And then I just have some little rugs down here. I do have my carbon monoxide detector out, but normally I have this stowed in one of the cup holders back here while I'm in drive mode. And then let's look over on this side now. I love these little side organizers, so when I'm at camp, I'll keep some spare wipes. I have the same one over here. I just keep some pens. Here's some of those hand sanitizing wipes, some bug wipes. This little thing is amazing. And then my bug spray and sunscreen I keep in here. Just a little notebook and some more magnetic hooks. I keep my teeny tiny Jackery Explorer 240 down here under this seat so that I can charge my phone, my laptop, anything like that while I'm working and lounging. And then my Big Mama Jackery 1000 is back here, and this is what I run my fridge off of, as well as my electric tea kettle. And then coming around to this part of the driver's side, just another angle, I've got my journal and some reading material under my lap desk, my camp slippers, my hiking boots. This is where I keep my dry goods and snacks, as well as paper towels and my compostable Clorox wipes. And then in here I just have some miscellaneous items. Same here, this is my bag holder. I also have my electric kettle in here for easy access. Just some extra dishcloths and towels here. And since it's cold out right now, I only have one fan clipped on, but I do have a couple in back if I need them. But this way I can still direct the airflow. And again, when it's cold, I don't use the fan blowing on me, but I will keep it circulating air to help prevent condensation. These are my little solar-powered Lucy string lights. And that's it. Super simple, super comfy, super fast and easy. Here in the back you can see is my bedroom, which is just my third row seating bench that I've converted into my bed. I kind of lay in it like a hammock. All right, now let's see what it looks like in evening mode. All right, now we're ready for evening. I've got my mood lighting on. Look at that view out the back. And I have Mrs. Claus keeping my co-pilots company today. I've got my bag ready to go for my lounging and relaxing time. Okay, so what did we think of the first tour? I'm going to briefly, after each setup that I show you, go into what I feel are the strengths and weaknesses, or the pros and cons of each setup compared to the others. With this one, the pro is definitely the ease, the simplicity, and the quickness that you can go from, you know, just your regular daily driver to an adventure mobile and be out the door on another trip. You know, you have 4 functional seats, so I am able to still transport my 3 kiddos around town during the day every day when I need to, and then when the weekend comes or when I get a break to myself to get out on another adventure, it's virtually almost ready to go. And I can keep the bed in at all times that way. So definitely love that about that setup. I would say the cons are that you just don't have quite as much living space when you're inside the vehicle. It still has all the functionality. You can still do everything you need to, and it doesn't, you know, hinder your adventures, but it doesn't necessarily feel as homey or cozy as some of my other setups, and you don't have kind of like the wide open living space that my other setups do. So let's move right into tour number 2. All right, we're going to take a look at layout number 2, and I just wanted to show you real quick. The front is basically identical to the last setup, so I'm not really going to spend any time on that. I do have this flipped around to the front right now, but I can also just swing it around to the back when I want to get it out of the way. And then as you can see, the back is also the same. I have my picnic table covers and back mosquito netting in there, my heated jacket, my extra bedding, towels, etc., my kitchen tote, the garage tote, shower bag, window covers. So let's look at the main difference now, the inside. As you can see, I still have the bed set up the same using my 3rd row bench. I actually have a blanket on top right now, so that's why you don't see my normal bedding. My pillows, and then I just rest my feet over here. I'll show you that here in just a second. I've got this nice comfy seat that has all kinds of pretty rainbows on it right now, courtesy of my back decals. And as you can see, this is definitely the most spacious living area of all of my setups. You've got all of this room for activities. And now we're just gonna step inside real quick so I can show you this area better. So right here, I still keep my fridge. It seems to be the most efficient in this position. And then I just have my little bamboo breakfast tray. You can see I have these nice little hooks back here that I'll keep my, technically this is a fruit hammock, but I keep all kinds of miscellaneous stuff in there. And then this is where I store my plastic bags, my microfiber cloths, wipes, that kind of stuff. This little table here is my counter space, which is really nice to have the additional surface area. And then under here I have my fire blanket and easy grass, since I do have electrical appliances that I use. I have my word search here, but I found that this little hammock area in the table is just good to store stuff that I need easy and frequent access to while I'm in this living space. So I've got some paper towels and wipes for now. I also love these little magnetic hooks. I use them for everything. So right now I just have my tea kettle and the cord for it hanging for easy access to make my coffee. And under here is where I keep my main power source, which is my Jackery 1000. And how I normally have this set up is I always keep my fridge plugged into it, and then I have this charging cord running underneath the rugs, which I in turn have plugged over here into this little 12-volt outlet. That way, whenever the vehicle's running, it's automatically charging my power station, since it does do pass-through charging. You can see I've got an extra backup fire extinguisher there, because safety first. This right here is actually my toilet, but I very rarely ever use it as such. As you can see, it does have a nice little padded seat, but that's just where I keep all of my bathroom related supplies, like extra wipes, disposable urinals, my reusable urinal bottle, etc. I typically use restrooms elsewhere unless it's an emergency. I find that this makes an excellent extra seat or surface space, so I actually will normally just use this bamboo cutting board as extra surface space here, and it's great for making my coffee, preparing meals, and so on. My fridge that I'm currently using is the Bouge RV pink color fridge in the 23 quart size, which is perfect for me. Plus, I mean, how fun is that color? And did you notice even my microfiber cloths match? And those plug-ins, just a little extra battery bank that I store back here for that, and my USB light, which I know you guys have seen before. And then I just have various rugs in here for more comfort, which underneath I keep those little puzzle mats that, you know, look like wood grain because I'm classy. Now let me show you how I sleep in this when I am using this setup. It's very comfortable, and I'm short. I'm only 5'2", so that definitely helps, but this is all I do. Voila. Or I can lay like this as well. Again, super easy, super comfortable, nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. Okay, so now that you've seen the second setup, let's talk about the pros and cons of that one. For the pro, I just love the wide open space. I love that I can have both sliding doors open, and it's just wide open to the outdoors. It feels more like the outdoors are in, and you don't feel as confined. It's really cozy, lots of room to move around in, and it's just still very simple. Another thing that I did not mention after the first setup, but it is a con of both that first tour and then this second tour that you just saw, would be that if you are not vertically challenged like myself, I'm 5'2", you may feel that the bed is a little bit too cramped, because I do utilize the wells above this window part here to get those extra few inches. And the way I sleep is either on my side curled up or at kind of an incline like this, kind of like you would in a hammock, which is actually great for me health-wise to have that kind of propped up position while I'm sleeping, and it's super comfortable. But again, I'm very short. So if you are not short like me, that may be a downside to these, to the first two setups that I showed you. I also want to mention real quickly that I will link full-length tours of each of these setups in the video description. So if you do want to see more details, or if you want to see the links for the products that I'm using, make sure to check that out when you're done watching. Front, we're rocking the same setup like always. I keep my backpack in the driver's seat once I'm at camp settled in. I've got my windshield cover up, along with my standard magnetic curtains and bug screens. My Blue Eddy power station that I use for cooking, with my spare water, my journals. I had to turn that off for a moment because it was doing that flicker thing that LED lights do on camera sometimes. You can see I still have my normal Salt Rock string lights and my decor. Over there is my little notebook and journal, the battery pack that I use to power these lights. And then I use these decorative cushions for storage of my clothing and pajamas. I've got a couple of fun little pillows that are just pillows. And then underneath this, I do have my spare cutting board for extra surface space and to set a drink on, although I am utilizing my cup holder right now. I also have my hands-free phone stand so that I can watch TV at night in bed, and my little library. But underneath this little faux fur rug is my standard 2 totes. I've got my kitchen tote and my garage tote. For the flooring, I just have my puzzle piece rubber mats that look like wood. Look like wood. I do have my little spare trash can, some hand sanitizer, and then in that cup holder over there is my spare fire extinguisher like always. I have my kettle on deck for coffee on the go, a little mood lighting, 1 fan, 2 fan, and I do have a 3rd for backup. I know this setup probably looks familiar to you because I do utilize it in my other tour that you just saw. We've got the fridge up here, pretty in pink. I always keep a towel on top, and then I'll transfer this over to here if I need this surface. Speaking of surface, underneath here is my ottoman / emergency toilet. Back here we have my storage hamper with the normal stuff in it, my shower bag, my bedding, my towels, all of that. My camera's just there out of the way for now in case any birds want to come along for photographs. And now let's talk about the bed itself. This is just my single size, and I've done a review on it before. It's my Elegear self-inflating camp mattress. It's a mixture of air and foam, and it's super easy. You just undo those and it automatically inflates, and when you're not using it, you can roll it right back up. And then I just have my sleeping bag and bedding on top. I do store my window covers underneath when they're not in use. And then when they're not in use, as you can see they are right now, I do store my WeatherTech window covers underneath the mattress, nice and flat, out of the way when I am not using them. Now let's take a quick view from the back, shall we? I just have my little Jackery 240 back here for when I'm in bed and need to charge my phone. And you can get a better look at my bed layering system this way from this angle. And my hamper. In here is where I keep the picnic cover storage, as well as a wet dry bag for picking up garbage or dirty laundry or anything like that. And you can just kind of get a better look at it from this angle. Got my little storage. You can still see my emergency fire blanket in easy reach. And there's my fire extinguisher, safety first. Okay, so what did we think of tour and setup number 3? Let's talk about the pros and cons real quick. Now, the pro in this setup is that you can stretch way out. It doesn't matter what height you are. You have plenty of room as far as sleeping. You can also add a mattress topper if you want a little more thickness, or you can even get those camping mats, like the collapsible camp mats or sleep mats. Put that underneath if you want a little bit more thickness than just the self-inflating mattress that I use. I do have a video showing that mattress review as well that I'll be sure to link below. So again, make sure you check the description if you have any other questions or want more details on any of these. But I also love all of the headroom that you have with this setup, because you do have that full length ability to stretch out, roll over, sleep in any position, but you can also, no matter how tall you are, sit up and have plenty of headroom. And when you're not, feeling like you're right at the ceiling, that can be just a huge space creator and make it feel much roomier and more comfy with still having a nice homey, cozy setup. As far as cons with that one, I will say that the bed can be a little thin. So if you do have hip issues or mobility issues, it may not be ideal to essentially be down on the floor when you're sleeping. It's definitely easy to get in and out because you don't have to climb up into bed or anything like that. But that can be a downside for some people, so it's just something to be aware of. All right, and with that, we are moving right along to tour number 4. This one is essentially the same basic layout as tour number 3. However, we are getting up off the floor and we are going to be utilizing a Coleman Camp cot. Now, when I got this cot, this was my very original no-build setup that I used when I very first started camping, and I loved it so much that I still utilize it all the time. And I personally find it ideal for longer trips just because this setup has the most storage. So we are going to call this the storage galore setup. Looking from the back, you can see all of the storage underneath. You can see there's still plenty of room. I do have my chair pulled out over here by the fire, and I've started setting up for dinner, but I still have my kitchen tote and my garage tote, along with my ever-handy storage hamper. And just to give you a look at kind of what the bed setup is, you can see it's just the cot mattress with the mattress topper and then my bedding. And I do have my sleeping bag because it's going to be cold. You can see I still have my headlamp on the back of my driver's side headrest. My same lantern. You can see I don't really mix up the actual items that much. It's just the setup, so it's very versatile. And then I still have my phone stand for watching TV, my little library, my lantern, my storage pillow with all of my winter stuff, and my toilet. And the floor is just my same little puzzle mat pieces with a yoga mat underneath, and then just some rugs. Very simple. I do keep my small jackery back here by the head of my bed because I do sleep with the head here since it's slightly higher, and my feet down here. That way it's nice and simple for charging my phone at night. And then under here, along with my super important coffee supplies, is my big jackery that is powering my fridge like always. And I pulled my Blue Eddy out that I store in the front seat because I am getting ready to cook some soup. You can see I have my same magnetic curtain set up with the bug screen on the front. And my same WeatherTech window coverings for all the other windows. One thing I like about this toilet that I've mentioned before in my other setups is that it's perfect for an extra seat or surface space. Here, this is my sitting area in this setup. I also have my heated jacket, my spare water supply, my clothes and packing cubes, shower bag, my dry goods, and again, my coffee supply. So what did we think? As I already mentioned before introducing this setup, the main pro here would definitely be storage space. It's perfect for pretty much any length road trip, full time, as far as making sure you have plenty of room to store everything without it feeling cluttered or cramped, and you have room to spare. I also like the over the bed table here because I kind of have like a little nightstand there, and I can just sit right up in the mornings, make my coffee, my breakfast, and I don't even have to get out of bed, which is perfect when it's cold like it has been lately, because I can stay nice and cozy in my cocoon and still have my morning coffee before I have to brave getting out in the cold. As far as cons, really the only thing that I can think of as a downside in this one is just that it is a little bit more work to set up. And when you are sitting up, especially if you are taller, you may be kind of reaching right about the ceiling. I have a couple of inches to spare so I can sit up straight without feeling like I'm hunched over or cramped. But if you, again, are not vertically challenged, that may be a little trickier for you. They do have other camping cots, so you could search for one that's a little bit lower to the ground or has adjustable legs. That may solve that problem for you, but I just want to keep it fully transparent here. And with that, we are at the number 5 of the top 5 best minivan camper no-build setups. So let's get right into it. Let's take a look at what day mode looks like from the back. We've got my hamper here, which again has all of my towels, sheets, bedding, and all of that. I do have my heated jacket this time since it's very cold today. My kitchen and garage tote live back here until I switch it to bed mode. And then I have my coffee and lap desk and shower bag. You can take a look at what it looks like from this angle. We see there's the fridge. I am cooking dinner. I've got my little table set up with my toilet and ottoman. Now let's take a look at the inside from the other way. You can see not much has changed in this area. I do still have my Bouge RV fridge. Ignore this, I'm cooking dinner right now. But this is my same little ottoman slash toilet. And then my little tiny side table. I can store stuff under here, but right now I just have my breakfast tray sitting there. And then we've got all of this floor space available. I do have my little seat here in case I want to use it as a footrest or to sit on when I'm not in the bed. And this is the bed in couch mode, which is just a Trifold mattress. It does sleep too, it's full size. Again, I do have my cushions for storage, my little reading and entertainment area. In this setup, I do store my window covers underneath the mattress. You can see them under there. And of course, it's the same lighting that I have in every setup. Now let's take a look at what this setup looks like when we take it from day mode or lounge mode to evening mode. Voila! So now you can see we have everything is mostly the same. Everything here is still the same. I didn't touch any of that at all. I just scooted the ottoman over there. And then I moved the hamper up here as well as my shower bag. But now we have a full-size bed. And since it's just me right now and only one person needs to sleep in the full-size bed, I kind of have my little entertainment setup over here still. And then let's go take a look from the back. By the way, can we talk about this view for a moment? Sheesh. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and put the kitchen and garage tote back on here. Since, like I said, nobody needs to be here. If they did, I would just move that up to the front too. But you can see we have a huge sleeping and lounging space for the evening now. And everything else is the same, although I did put my heated jacket up there because I suspect I'm going to want it. All right, that was tour number 5. Real quick, the pros and cons. The pro in this one, the biggest pro, and it's the kind of what makes this one stand apart from all of my other setups, is that you can sleep up to 2 people comfortably in it because it is a full-size bed. So, you know, you've got so much room for activities. And I have gone on several camping trips with my teenage daughter, who is taller than me. And we were able to sleep comfortably in here. So that is definitely a huge pro. If you're going to be bringing somebody along with you, you will be able to accommodate 2 people in this one. Another thing I love about it is that you kind of get the benefits of all of my other setups. Because when it's folded up into couch mode, you still have that huge open space. You can open both doors, you know, climb right on through. And you have, you know, all of the benefits of having that when it's in lounge mode. And then when you fold it out into a bed, you have the ability to stretch out. Again, any height doesn't matter. And because it's on the ground, you have all of the headspace. So it is kind of, in my opinion, the best of all of the setups combined. But that being said, there is a con that I want to mention. It does happen to be the most complicated of the setups, which is also why I saved it for last. Now, again, I'm able to still set it up in under an hour and be out the door if I need to be. But you do have a little bit more work involved because you need to convert it from day mode to night mode. So if you are stealth camping and you really want to be low key and you don't want to be out of the vehicle to set up, that can pose a problem. Because I do, when I pull it from couch to bed mode, well, I probably technically could do it with all of the doors closed. I have never personally attempted that. I do stand outside when I pull it out. So if you were stealth camping, you would want to set up at another location before you move to your final sleeping spot for the night to still be able to fly under the radar. So that could be a downside for you. And again, it is just a little bit more work because you do have to shift a few things. You know, I have to move, as I showed you, the hamper up to the front seat, you know, just shift a few things around like that. So it's not where you can just go about your business and then climb into bed at the end of the night. You do have to do a little bit of work before you're ready to sleep. But there you have it. Those are the top 5 or the 5 best, in my opinion, no-build minivan camper setups to either travel, camp, whatever your particular case may be. And the great thing about all of these is that you do not have to remove the seats. You don't need any tools. You don't need any wood or cutting or any kind of construction expertise. Anybody with no carpentry ability or building ability or anything is able to still have a cozy, comfortable, beautiful space to live, travel, camp, or sleep in. So, which was your favorite setup? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments below which one you would prefer, or maybe you want to be like me and just keep them all in rotation and go with whatever you feel like at that time. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon on another adventure. Bye for now, friends.